Welcome to Broken Home, the only podcast where being broke ain't all bad. I am your host, Jeremy Webb, and joining me, regular guest, Mr. Nick Quon.
How are you, Matt?
Oh, I'm not doing too bad.
Is that hat that you're wearing, which says "Ask Me to Help" and red
Yes.
and white, is it a MAGA rip-off hat?
See, I wear this hat sometimes just because it's so funny to me. It's not meant to be a rip-off hat. This was just something that my parent company had at, like, a function. And they just had people wandering around in these as like I'm the information booth.
That's fun.
And they did not put two and two together once. There was like 50 of these. And my mate stole it for me because he's like, I knew you'd want it. I'm like, absolutely, I would.
It's a good hat. It's nice and deep.
Yeah.
Not a shallow hat.
I was having this issue with the hat I was wearing last episode. It's like, what are they called? Flat caps.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I wear it slightly high like this, it's like I'm a cone head. Like it's ridiculous. Like it's really long in any of those when I wear them. But if I actually pull it down, it's like you've got to completely cover my ears, so it looks like I'm incognito for something.
I like it.
Like at least in the Marvel movies when they go the cap to hide, it's like it's a smaller cap. You can pull it down without your ears looking stupid.
That's fun. My uncle, used to run a orthotics company,
And he used to have feet, but.
And he's a big, massive Trump guy, right? Loves him, absolutely adores him. And so he got hats made up, which I still think is one of the lamest things because he actually went to the hat place and got them made that said, "Make orthotics great again."
Does that even fit? Oh, I suppose American orthotics, roughly the same size. That's so sad.
It was very, like, he used to love wearing it. Like, he'd wear it to family gatherings, and he loved that idea that people are like, "Are you wearing?" Oh, okay, we get what you. But like, he's going to talk about it anyway.
Yeah.
So like,
see, at least with this one, I can just sort of wear it, and you just let the joke be itself.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I always hated with. You remember the fucking whichever fight it was where Conor McGregor wore a shirt that said "fuck off" as pinstripes.
No,
Like
don't remember that.
It just looked like a pinstripe suit, but if you looked right in, it just said "fuck off" over and over.
Oh,
again.
right, yeah.
And it's like, I remember seeing a thing, I'm like, that's very funny. Like, just as a thing to wear there that nobody quite sees. That's very funny. But then he went on his fucking, like, social media. It was like, "Did you see my suit?" Yeah, if you zoom in, it's like, nah, man, you got to let it. Leave it.
Yeah, the whole point is to leave it.
Yeah, and he just completely stepped on it. I'm like, you were so close to being
showing it
on
off
purpose.
is lame because if you zoom in and then it's like those "How am I driving" stickers or whatever. Or like if you're too close to this, if you can read this, you're too close.
Or the classic.
So I kind of like the idea that to read what it's written on there, to read what's written on there, you would have to zoom in, and then he'd eventually want you to fuck off.
Yeah, it would work perfectly. As like people don't understand playing the straight man.
Yeah,
and it's a sad thing. I've definitely mentioned it before. It's a lost art to be able to stand there and go, "But why did you do that?"
Yeah.
And while someone is just completely mocking you without you noticing. But yeah, how you been, man? Any weird gigs of late? Because I've had some fucking occurrences.
What gigs? No, I've had a pretty good little run of late. I've actually had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like just getting back into post festival, doing new.
Yeah.
And having fun with that. So I'm actually enjoying doing shitty open mics to like a handful of people.
Man, I've been having issues with that because I've been working on some concepts for a show which are about like stories of times I've nearly died.
Yeah, that's fun.
And I've been trying to get on and doing stuff, but it's hard to do 5 minutes at an open mic where you're just like, this is entirely about me nearly dying. Like crammed into 5 minutes because it's going to be quick things, but it's just like it's weird to do death gear of any kind in a 5-minute open mic spot.
Yeah, it sort of depends.
And no, if there's 4 people in the room, they get a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's just because it's 4 people in the room. They're going to be feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah. And these are relatively unpolished bits. So at the moment, a lot of them, it feels like to me that there's jokes in there, but there's kind of not. So it just becomes a story about, check this out.
How many stories have you got about nearly dying?
It turns out a lot more than I thought. because I thought I'm like, yeah, I'll do like 5 or 6 for the show.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to start grouping some of these together.
That's fine. I think you should structure the show. I don't know if you want this on.
Let's
can
do
cut it. Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it.
fuck
I
it.
think you should structure the show on how close you came each time.
Ooh, that's
So,
not
like-
bad because I was gonna go just chronological,
Nah, you want to do it like
go through myself a little.
yeah, and then you can sort of like if you do it chronological, then you might end up with a weaker story towards the end or whatever. Whereas if you do it that way, and you can start off like this is the first time I came close.
Yeah.
And then just sort of build it up and then build it
The
up.
one I was trying to do on there is the time I got my tongue stuck on the inside of a chest freezer.
Fucking hell.
Went in there looking for icy poles, got stuck, and the door closed.
That's a great one.
It was fun.
How would you nearly die doing that?
I'm stuck inside of a chest freezer.
Oh, like an actual, like a big,
Quon
yeah, right.
freezer. Like I'm inside that, and the lid just fucking comes down. So I'm like freezing, stuck to the wall by the tongue.
How'd you get out?
Dad was also looking for icy poles.
That's great. Dad loving a Zupa Duper, and that saving your life is
Yeah.
really fun.
I'm like, I was going in there first doing the same thing, and I'm like, the ice on the side is kind of an icy pole. Let's see how that is. Just fucking
Fuck yeah.
sealed to the wall.
That's great.
So it's like, that's a nice, like, easily could have died. That's like, when you hear people, the ads of like, oh, a kid can fall in a pool and it takes like 6 seconds.
yeah, absolutely.
It's like that kind of thing. It's like if your child's looking for icy poles and he's tall enough to get in the chest freezer,
Oh, definitely. Like you
how
think
long is it
about,
actually going to take you in there?
we used to love like locking each other in boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
But-
sort of thing. And then it's like, and then your mum's just like, "What are you doing? Like,
Mm-hmm.
get out the boot."
She's like, it's my thing was it's like it's not moving. We're not going
Yeah,
anywhere
yeah.
yet. It's not like a freezer where you can't breathe and it's getting colder and colder.
How long can you survive in a boot though?
Oh, in a boat, forever. Like
I reckon a boot though, it's like you would definitely like being kids.
Mhm.
We'd probably lock someone in a boot and then forget that they're in there.
Yep.
Like my sister has this story where she always loves to bring up when we were kids about how I locked the cat in the oven for a weekend.
Okay.
And
Oh, for
like,
a whole weekend. All right.
so we had a cat, and I was like playing with the cat. I'm like, we had this toy like Fisher and Paykel oven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there wasn't an actual oven. I'm not a psycho. I didn't slow roast the cat.
Well,
right?
I was gonna say it's like it's not like it was on.
Yeah, it wasn't on. Well,
was
it
just
couldn't be
like-
on. It was a Fisher and Paykel, not a Fisher and you know the one. What do they call it? Fisher and Price. Thank
I
you.
don't think it's and. I think it's
Whatever. And so I put the cat in there, and then I
Mhm.
forgot about the cat, and I just went off and played. I was like 5 or 6 or 7 or.
yeah.
And then my sister's crushed and devastated, and then
Mm-hmm.
our friends across the road just had a litter of kittens, and we were going.
died?
No, we're going over to get
A new cat.
a new cat,
Uh huh.
and while we were outside, we could just hear this meowing, and the cat
Mhm.
was still in there and had been in there for like 2-3 days by that stage.
I love that. That's how quickly it took for your sister to just give up and go. Look
Yeah.
for
Oh,
new
she
cat.
gave up straight. Like, I think I like.
you forgetting it in the oven is one thing. Her just going, well, he's gone.
Where's
Like,
gone?
that
Let's
was
replace
so
it.
quick.
Exactly.
You
Like,
didn't find him on the road. You didn't put a
Yeah.
fucking poster up.
I was obviously trying to keep the cat.
Yeah.
She wanted to get rid of the cat.
Yeah, it was. If anything.
She wanted a replacement straight away. I like the cat more than her.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, we all see the appeal of kittens. Unless she saw it in there and was trying to do the dirty double.
Oh, like
She
get
wants-
2
she wants
cats,
the
then opens it
second
up.
cat.
Yeah.
Like she was trying, but you.
Get the 2 cats.
Yeah.
That's
A
I never
little
thought
bit of
about that.
mewing and a conscience going, well, 3 days is a bit much to not feed a cat.
Yeah.
Actually, that would have been the test. You should have looked for, like, kibble bits in there, see if she'd been like,
I'm amazed we didn't hear it for days.
a cat hiding, though.
Yeah,
Because
they
I
do
got a
that.
cat here that, like, I know she comes out for food and whatever, but, like, there'll be days where if I don't see her at the feeder, she'll just be skulking around.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Well,
that's Which, again, means giving up so quickly. It's just fucking ridiculous.
well, you've got to. I think that's the thing with lost cats. Like I've had a few things. Like I even recently, like Katie, the missus, was away,
Mhm.
and I got home and I just fell asleep on the couch on a Friday, and I'd left the back door open.
Yep.
And I woke up a couple hours later, couldn't find. I'm like, oh shit, this is bad.
Yep.
Could find one cat, couldn't find the other cat.
Mm-hmm.
Then spent 2 hours walking the block and going around and going around.
Yep.
And then I was sort of like, I think that's just panicking.
Yes.
Like you're panicking. So you're going around. And it
Because
was.
if you don't go looking, that's when something will happen.
Yeah. And it must have been nearly like 2. And I was like, fucking. I was thinking, should I call her and let her know what's happened?
Mm-hmm.
Should I call you and see what you're doing? See if you want to help me on a Friday night cat hunt?
Yep.
To be fair, you would have probably been
I've
up.
done it before.
Yeah, well, I probably would have.
weeks
Like
back.
that was definitely a consideration.
I
Like,
worked from my car and like staked out a block for someone.
yeah,
Like
And
a
then-
complete psycho.
and just doing that thing. Oh, fuck it, I'll just go home, and then going home, and then just meow meow. And she's in the fucking neighbours.
Yep.
Or he's in the neighbours. It's just like, where were you 2 hours ago when I was like calling you?
Yeah, just being comfy.
And then I have to
Felt
jump
safe 'cause I
into
could
the
hear
neighbour's
voices.
house.
Yeah, that's
To,
always been
like,
the weird
like,
thing.
and it's like, oh fuck, you gotta get here now because if they walk out, I'm gonna look insane.
Yeah.
You know.
But at least it's your cat. I've nearly done it like grabbing a cat out of a front yard that I thought was ours. And then Tiff's like, oh, he's in the cupboard.
I did that. I 100% did that. Yeah,
The
like
gingers,
like
man,
there was
they're
a front.
too similar to each
Yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah. There was a ginger cat, literally like a block away from here.
Yeah.
And I was walking along, and it was sitting like in a bird bath out the front.
Yeah.
And I've just gone, is that's surely George?
Yeah.
That is George. This
And
cat,
because with
despite looking far less ginger, clearly a girl cat, and with long hair, is the cat.
Well, the biggest
And
thing
it was
with
better looking.
gingers,
To be
it's
fair, it
like-
was a better looking cat. Like it was an
Upgrade.
upgrade.
But with those gingers in particular, it's like even if you see him doing some weird spaz behavior, you're like, mine does that as well. So it's like maybe,
Yeah.
but it's just they all do that.
They all
just
do that.
fucking weird. But yeah, I was doing this gig not long ago, and there was a woman in the audience who said some sort of either accident or degenerative disease or something. So she was like, couldn't talk properly. But you can clearly see that that's, that she's got something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was a comic that was like talking with her or like had a couple of interactions. And every time she'd speak back, he'd just sort of do this like, I don't know, and would just be like, well, I can't hear what you're saying. Completely no idea
Yeah.
that that's what's going on. I'm just sitting there. People are still getting kind of laughs, but I'm like, you should have noticed on the way up. You should be able to figure this out. But he just seemed to not, and just kept like, there was like 4 or 5 times where he's doing the fucking Jim from The Office face.
That's
She's
funny.
trying to talk, and I just didn't answer to him either. I'm like, fuck it, he can just enjoy that.
Yeah.
But it's like, just watching those kinds of weird occurrences once you get a crowd above a certain number. I also even felt bad in that one because I was ripping on a woman a little bit hard because her phone went off because she just sort of let it keep going, and then I was just making fun of her for being old.
Yeah, you can get away with that sometimes.
I think there was a bit of a noticeable gap between her and the audience, like the rest of the audience. So
Yeah.
even though it was enjoyment, I couldn't read from her face if she was enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like, it all went well and everything. It's like you can easily get away with it in terms of the show. It's just I'm sitting there going, did I actually hurt this woman's feelings? I hope not.
That's fun. I once called a lady old because she was like heckling a little bit, and then I like gave it back to her, and then
Yeah,
She
the problem
ended up-
there is she
I
didn't,
forgot
it's
what
not
she
that you called
yelled
her
out,
old,
but
she called
she-
you an old bitch. So that's probably more of the issue.
she yelled something out that was actually funny, like halfway through towards the
That
end.
sucks.
I
I
loved
hate
it.
that.
I was just like, nah, fuck, I'm changing this around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to get your number, love. Like, you're not too old for me. I'm like, you're now one of the few people in this, because it was like a dirty secrets pack with open micers. I'm like,
Yeah.
you've now joined the ranks of the few people in this room I actually respect. It's like, it's you, it's Luke and Marla and me. Like, that's it. That's the 3 people.
And
I'm
maybe a drop in.
Yeah, there might be a drop in. There might be somebody upstairs who's just coming from a better gig.
Just
But
hanging
right now,
around.
there's 3 of us in this room.
Yeah.
And I'm one of them.
And the bartender.
Oh, yeah. of
They
course.
work hard.
Yeah.
I was going to say, this is something you'd probably be interested in. I found a place, right? It's a pizza joint. Because Scroogies, our good mates, were closed. Fuck, I love that place.
Great
Just-
place.
Great pizza, just a fantastic level of just copyright infringement.
Love it. Yeah,
all
yeah,
over
yeah.
the- That's how
What,
you know
what
you're getting
cartoon
good
characters
pizza.
have they got at the front again?
So it's
The bu-
Scroogies
it's-
where they've got Scrooge McDuck.
Yep.
And then I remember on the walls they've got basically everyone. They got Mickey, they got
Yeah.
Donald, they got like the whole fucking menu is just the names of
It's great.
various IPs. But I love that they didn't pick one group. They didn't go like, oh, we're doing Warner Brothers colors.
Yeah. They've gone
It's
like
just
we're
like,
doing the whole.
We're doing whatever. Popeye's in there. I
Yeah.
remember that one.
Well, you come after because
Bit of Felix the cat.
there was that story years ago. I don't know if it's true, but I think it was like a childcare centre.
Yeah.
And they had Disney characters painted around it, and then Disney sued them to take them back, and then Warner Brothers.
Like mural type things.
Yeah,
like
like
oh,
it
the
just-
kids like Disney stuff.
Oh yeah, it's just like they do whatever.
Yeah.
And then so Disney forced them to remove it, paint it white, and everything. And then Warner Brothers found out and said, "You can just have our characters for free, guys."
That's nice.
That's nice.
Well,
I don't
it's
know
nice
if that story's
business
true. It's one of those
practice,
things
very nice.
I probably read it on a meme, so it's probably not true.
You do hear a lot of, like, particularly in advertising, you see a lot of that kind of tit for tat. Like, I remember there was a Coke Pepsi one, because there was heaps of those kinds of back and forth. That was just like Pepsi and Coke both used the same image.
Yeah.
So it was like a one where I'm pretty sure it was Pepsi. Like, it's a Pepsi can, and then it's wearing what looks like a disguise of a Coke on the outside.
Yeah.
And it was like something like, oh, deep down you want a fucking Pepsi. And then Coke ends up putting up another one. It's just like, oh, you're always dreaming of being a hero. Making it look like, so it looks like a cape. But it was just basically like those kinds of back and forth. But the problem is they're still just companies trying to make money.
Yeah.
It's really annoying when you watch them. You're like, oh, that's an interesting advertising little thing. And then you realize
Nah,
you
because I
actually-
think the advertising's a creative, like you can, like it's a
Yeah,
creative
It's definitely got its
output, like visually.
definitely
there was
requires
writing,
creativity.
There's a joke, like
and it's its own thing. Like, it can't be.
man, you
Like-
think any like those Disney characters are in shows and films to not make money?
Yeah. All right, cunt. But it's more.
You're gonna
that
be
this is-
charging tickets to your show, there, Webby.
All right, well, good point. Well made. I don't know. It's just weird that there's like. Actually, no, you're right. It's fucking everywhere. I was about to
everywhere.
Like, compare it to anything. It's like, yeah, football teams, fucking. I don't know. I think it's more. It seemed too meme-ish even then. Like, trying to be down with the kids, I think, is the vibe that always sort of brushes me the wrong way.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
It just feels like
gotta get your
whenever it's that
product out
little
there.
bit short. Yeah.
And like Coke doesn't need to advertise. They're still doing it. They're always pretty fun with it.
yeah.
Names on the bottles are back. That's always fun.
That I don't know how I feel about that.
No, like
I don't like the names. I liked more when it was just like vague terms, like and just like groups of people. So there was like dad or your uncle,
Yeah.
or, like the guy at the shops, your mate. Like I preferred those, but if they went a bit more weird,
I think the names thing is one of the great little advertising campaigns of all time.
Yeah.
Because you were making people buy them and then take photos of them and put it online.
see those kinds of things I don't mind because I find those interesting. The indirect solutions to these kind of problems, like the classic one is when all cigarette companies just stopped advertising because they didn't need to.
That's
And
true.
by all doing it at the same time, it's like, oh, we're still going to make the same money,
Yeah.
and we don't pay for advertising.
Well, they would pay. You ever go to like, have you been in the US?
No.
Like it's crazy when you go to a place like that and it's like they still have, like you go to like the 7-Eleven
Mm-hmm.
and they'll have 2-for-1 offers on Marlboros out the front on a poster.
Yep.
And I was going to my mate that lived there. I'm like, man, what's the deal with that? That's crazy. And this was like 2017 maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's still a thing, but I was like, I can't believe you guys advertise cigarettes here. Like we don't advertise cigarettes here. I'm like, oh, but I just saw this. It's like, oh yeah, like we don't have TV ads. But it's like that's still advertising, man.
Yeah, like that's just one fork.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you don't have broadcast advertising.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to sponsor things, so they say your name on the radio.
Yeah.
But even that one, I'm just assuming. Like, it could be exactly the same as, like, when you're watching footy here and listening to footy on the radio and you're just hearing about the fucking Ream hot water service because that's the name of the scoreboard or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
it is. So they could still be doing that.
That's great. I remember when
Actually, you know what they could do? Because Crypto Arena was in.
yeah.
Because of the tariff stuff, that just nosedived and they had to give up the name of the arena. Maybe they get in there. As if you wouldn't play at Marlborough Stadium.
Yeah, that's good, Marvel. So I like that.
The Cowboys.
The Rothman Blues.
Man, actually, now that we're going down that.
Yeah.
JPS Golds.
Yeah, it's good. The JPS Gold Coast Suns.
Oh, beautiful.
There we go.
The Pall Mall Pals.
I actually remember I remember reading this story of the great Shane Warne, and he was doing an interview with Gideon Haigh, and Gideon Haigh goes at the end of the interview, he bummed a smoke off Warne.
Yeah.
And Warne's just like, do you want a pack of smokes or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, I've got fucking heaps of them, because Benson and Hedges were then sponsoring the cricket. So he just fucking... I don't think he took them because he's like, I want to keep a bit of distance, but he's just like packs of just free smokes. It's like part of their donation. It's like, yeah, fuck yeah. Kookaburra's providing my bats.
Yep.
Nike's giving me my shoes. Benson and Hedges covering my smokes.
It's so weird to hear from a professional athlete, especially recent enough for his footage to be in colour.
Yeah.
To be getting paid in free smokes.
Cricketers love smoking.
It's one of the few sports that allows it.
Mm.
Allows for it.
Yeah.
Rather, because I don't think they've ever cut to the footage in the broadcast and they're in the pavilion just punching durries.
Oh, they used to.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so much footage. There is so much footage back in the day of them just sitting around.
And they should fucking keep it going.
Yeah.
I think athletes should be allowed to smoke. It's not a good idea if you're trying to be an endurance athlete of some kind. But
yeah,
fuck it. If you're fucking just out there to bowl.
Oh, for sure. If you're bowling leg spin, you should be allowed to smoke.
Absolutely. You should be able to smoke during your over.
That's great. I wish you could.
You just walk up to the fucking umpire, hand him your hat, hand him your durry.
Yeah.
You got a mate polishing the ball up. You just, yeah, thanks, mate. Hand it back.
I can definitely say in all my years of D grade, I've never come across a D grade umpire that did not smoke.
Oh, for sure.
Because you're just out there all fucking
And there's
day.
nothing better for getting that slight fucking advantage than, there you are, man.
Yeah, I've done it before. Actually,
do it.
It's never
Hooking
really
up
worked.
the umper. It's never really worked, but you got to keep trying.
Never worked.
That's the thing. It won't work in that game.
No.
But later on down the track, if it comes like a decision,
yeah, that could happen.
you're positively imprinted in their mind.
Well, this umpire that umpires a lot of our games, Damien D'Souza, and he didn't give me an LBW that was plum once.
Yep.
I was so mad because it was a 40-degree day, and I gave him my last Gatorade.
Oh.
And he was just like, "Is anyone he was about to pass out?" I was like, "Yeah, mate, of course."
Yeah.
And then he just didn't give me the plumbest LBW. 2 weeks later, he gave me one that was like, ooh, a little bit iffy.
Yeah.
I was more like, ooh.
I think that's because as well, there's the overcompensation during the same game.
Mm.
It's like, yeah, he's hooked me up with the Gatorade and he's done this, and it's like, but I don't want to look like I'm playing favorites.
That's true.
So it's like every now and then there's one where it's like, I'm gonna have to let that go if it's, especially with the LB where it's like a judgment call. You bowl someone clean, the umpire's not going, nah. It's like that.
I've had that happen.
What?
It can happen.
How the fuck are they calling that?
Windy days. So
also, it's a wide, but it's
no.
Or?
So what can happen is we had one game a couple of years ago where it definitely happened, and so when it's really windy, they have to take the bails off the top of the stumps. And a bowled is not a bowled unless the bails are complete. Like one bail has to be completely removed out of the groove at the top of the stumps.
Yeah,
it has to be. So we've played games where we've just taken the bails off because they just keep falling over and keep falling over, or the bails keep falling off, I should say. And yeah, we had a guy and he inside edged a ball onto his stumps, didn't walk. The umpire's like, well, I couldn't tell. We saw later back on footage that he definitely had hit the stumps.
Oh, right, but because the bails aren't there to judge.
The bails aren't there to judge whether or not it's
all the stumps are still there.
Yeah.
That's brutal. You'd think there'd be a bit of, did the batter see it?
Yeah.
He definitely saw it?
Yeah, he definitely saw it.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it was a little bit like, come on, mate. That's one of those ones. I don't believe in walking, but maybe if you've just been bowled, I think you probably should.
Yeah, especially given the conditions. If you're at the point, it's like if you were playing with no umpire, doing basketball or something. It's like you call your own fouls. Come on. If you know it's a foul, if you know that you fucked it there, don't just be pretending you didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's also a part of me that's like, yeah, I want to win. like me and Sando were talking about it. It's like we're cunts about this a bit. If there's a chance to win something, we're gonna fucking go for it.
Yeah, and it
But
can't.
I don't like winning like that.
Yeah, I think it also depends on the team that you're playing against and
For
what.
sure.
Because I also think.
Oh yeah, there's some people now that you say are dog completely.
Yeah, I think that was also later on. There was a game, and a guy was running, and tripped over.
Yeah.
And I have the right to withdraw, and I can withdraw the appeal. And the guy was definitely out.
Yeah.
And I reckon they hadn't dogged us on that particular wicket. Like, if the guy had edge one behind, I reckon, and the umpire hasn't paid it, I wouldn't have been dirty.
Yeah.
Right? You don't need to walk on that.
No dirty on the player.
But I
You'd be
think with the
salty.
bowled as well is because in that game, the umpire can't see. So you're obstructing his view of any sort of bowled.
Yeah.
And it's on his discretion, and he's taking your word for it. He's like, "Did you? No." So I was
There's
like,
not
he hadn't done that.
a
I
square leg
probably
knot?
would have withdrawn the appeal and said, "Oh, look, mate, you tripped over. Shit happens."
Yeah.
Like,
But you fucked it.
yeah, you fucked it.
You didn't give him the Gatorade.
No. No Gatorade.
That's what it is. It's a simple bribe, but it's just goodwill. It's like you're not asking for anything in particular. You just want to hit your overs and just
Yeah.
and pay out your multi.
Speaking of, you getting excited for your big first awards night tomorrow, mate?
Yeah, it'll be good. I had to confirm the dress code because, well, do I wear whites? Do I?
No, it's an all-you-can-eat. It's Karachi Street Food. They're a sponsor. Just shout out for them. It's great food, actually. It's all-you-can-eat.
I'll wait to pass judgment.
Curries and it's great. It is dry though. It is dry, and no, not the food. Like, you can't bring alcohol.
Right.
No, the food is.
I was literally about to make a joke about sneaking in Kewpie mayo in my pocket.
And it's great. Like, an all you can eat Indian and Pakistani food like that, like all those kind of curries, is the best form of doing all you can eat.
Oh yeah, because if you go anywhere else, you can go hard on bad stuff
Yeah.
fully.
Yeah.
If I'm getting the curries, it's like I need rice.
Yep.
Otherwise, my face is just going to fall off.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
it's just going to melt at the back. It's just going to slide clean off, and I'll be too distracted by the lovely food to notice.
Well, that's why I'm also thinking dress code. Don't wear whites because you'll get them stained.
Yeah, but if you're playing properly, you should, mate.
Playing properly.
Yeah.
Playing what?
Cricket. If I'm out in the field there, I want to have fucking dirty.
Oh
whites when I'm done.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, but like butter chicken stains, mate. They're a different kind of stain.
It's so funny with like so many things you can see a stain. You can almost play it off as something out, but there's something about curry. There's like an oily.
Definitely,
like,
it's the yellow.
spilled curry.
Yeah, you have spilled curry on you.
Even a fucking bolognese, you can get around even.
Oh, it's like when you're doing, you get like turmeric out and you're just like, fuck, it's on my pants.
Oh, that is my absolute fucking. Look at these pants. I do painting and shit in these, and just about at that height on all of them.
Yeah,
There's just like, oh, a bit of shit on there. Ah, fuck.
yeah. Always do
Just
it.
brand new shirt. Either that or a lot of jackets and stuff. Obviously, I've got just the cigarette butt holes.
Yeah.
I was so shattered because that was during one of the games where we had to do the covers. I'm wearing my like blue jacket that I like. We're pulling the covers. I'm not on it, but I'm on one of the edges. And you're like, oh, you got to put your dart out. And like, oh yeah, the covers. So I thought it was out, put it in my pocket. Come back later, there's this fucking big hole there. I'm like, it's my favorite jacket.
I did it on, I think it was Christmas
Too keen to
Eve.
not get in trouble to fucking make sure my jacket was all right.
Like Christmas Eve, I got so drunk and I was around at my uncle's place.
Yeah.
And then wearing my nice shirt, like I spent maybe $30, potentially $40 on this shirt.
Yep.
And like,
How old were you at the time?
When was 2023? And I was sitting there and it was just like, yeah, good times, good family, love this. Then sitting down and like it had just, my ciggy had burnt a hole all through my pocket and then onto the couch and then burning right through. And my cousin is just sitting there looking at me. It's like, yeah, you having a good time, are you, mate? It's like, yeah. It's just like, so when are you going to tell Dad? I'm like, what do you mean, mate? Look down. Fuck it. And then I've moved it. And then I've taken it out, ashed it up. I'm probably more annoyed about the shit. I've ruined his couch.
Mm-hmm.
And then my cousin comes, he's like, don't worry, mate. And gave me a pillow to cover up. It's like, he'll never notice. And then like...
That's such a like, if you were 10 kind
yeah,
of solution.
10 months later, my cousin's just like, oh yeah, I told Dad straight away. Dad's like, why was Nick looking so worried on the couch before? It's like, oh, he's blown a hole through. He's like, fucking idiot. It's like,
I
well,
love
I
that-
invited him round here, so I knew something like that. He's going to break
Not
something.
even like waiting until he finds it, then dobbing you in.
Yeah.
Preemptively. Like, you might as well go, hey, Dad, look under that fucking cushion I just put there.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is my uncle, though. He was really good. He was that uncle who was...
Get you alcohol.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
That's step one.
Like, that's step one. No, he was that
That's the
uncle
entry
that
exam for being the good uncle.
was really good at if you owned up to stuff.
Okay.
He would give you a free pass a lot of the time. So I
Yep.
probably actually should have... I tried to hide it, but like I remember, I think I broke his
It's an
remote
impulse.
as a kid, and then he was like that first adult to go like, "Who broke the remote?" And going, "Oh, I did," and going, "Well, you were honest with me," and I got to respect that.
Yeah.
And going like, "Oh, cool," and then because you got to do that
Or
every
just
so
even
often.
the idea of like, okay, you fucked that up, so we'll go fix that, but then there's not going to be an extra thing.
Yeah,
It's like, just getting the lesson of like, if you fuck up, just try to fix the thing you fucked up.
absolutely.
And you're like, that's great. But no, you got to be... you have to be locked in a small box afterwards. That's the key. Locked in your room with all your toys.
Locked in
the
your fucking-
worst punches.
Locked in your crate freezer.
No, that was self-inflicted.
Yeah, well, you
Because
probably-
Mum was denying me icy balls. And Dad, evidently.
that's great. I like that. I like your show. I'm thinking about it.
Well, it was either that or I was going to do Webby's Wide World of Sport.
Nah.
And then do like, not like to be like the show or anything, just to talk about me, like sports stuff, different sports I played, that kind of thing. It didn't seem as fun.
No, the death thing's cool, and you can rate them. I'm trying to think about my closest. Probably when I nearly bled to death.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll probably do it. But then you think about this. It's more about close calls.
Well, there's some I had to like cut out and explain where it's like, I can't count things where it's like, yeah, if you cross a road, technically you could die at any second along that
Yeah.
road. So it's like, there's a lot of things you can cut down of like things that were just chance. Like, even then, if like I've had car crashes that are like in front of me, but I'm like, that doesn't count. Because it's like, yeah, he could have swerved slightly more and then that would have hit me. But
Yeah, definitely.
it's more that I saw a car crash in front of me and then remembered that any of these cars could kill me. You know what I mean?
No, I think that's a
But
close
bleeding out, that's fucking close call.
call. Yeah.
How did you get injured?
Fell off a bike. I think I've talked about this on here. And
And we're back from resetting my camera. I did just want to think, because I started talking about pizza joint. I think completely forgot.
Go back.
I had to go to a different pizza joint, and they have probably the greatest thing I've ever seen. So normally you get your 2 pizzas, garlic bread, and a drink meal. Most places will have that combo.
Fantastic.
There, you can switch out the garlic bread for a medium-sized focaccia,
Why would you do that, though?
like cheese and garlic pizza. I'd much rather that than a garlic bread. And even then, price-wise, at the bare minimum, you can see there's a big difference in that.
Yeah, but there's something romantic about the garlic bread.
Nah, I think tradition's
Chewy, breaking apart, buttery.
tradition's keeping it hanging around, but nah.
No, I disagree.
I don't like. That's the thing. Garlic bread's there, great. I'll have it. I like getting the nice sourdough garlic bread that you get at the supermarket and banging those in the oven. But in terms of like, if I go to somewhere to order food, I usually want it to be something I can't make myself. You know what I mean? Like, I can't make the big, nice pizza going through the oven.
Yeah.
I can't do all that. Garlic bread, like, especially those ones, it's like, yeah, you can buy them exactly how they have them and put them in the oven. Whereas, again, the focaccia, I don't have the doughs, I ain't got any of that shit.
We had to make pizza at work for the kids the other day.
Yep.
And it was going to be like this big. So we've been looking at bread and how you make bread. And we're doing like little experiments on, because we've been looking at bread and then
Yep.
we're looking at just science and how different chemicals, different substances react with each other.
Man, they're really cutting back on education, aren't they?
Yeah.
At least you used to get to look at animals.
Yeah.
It's
And
like, what do you got in your lunchbox? Because that's what we're looking at today.
well, it was. So we're going to do English muffin pizzas, right? I love an English muffin pizza.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So use them as a base. Always make them for cricket. I think
Mhm.
it's just a good, solid way of having a little. And I love mini pizzas. I prefer 'em- I'd rather, it's like party pies and pies.
Okay.
I'd rather have 3-4 party pies than a meat pie, and I'd rather have a bunch of mini pizzas, or little pizza puff pastries than I ever would want to have a pizza or a slice.
Sounds like
of.
you're a carbs man.
I'm a carbs man.
Yeah.
Look at me. And So we ordered English muffins,
Mhm.
and the only ones that they had, and they sent them, were fruit English muffins, like fruit toast English muffins. And I'm there arguing, that would be no, we can just use them. It's all about the experience. Like that would be. I can't
No.
justify this.
Nope. You're completely right.
Like I'm
Like,
not
if
having.
people can get pissed off enough about that when it's fruit and nut chocolate turning up instead of just chocolate, just being like, I don't want sultanas, but like if they can be that, a fucking pizza is ludicrous. You're lucky to argue pineapple on there.
Yeah.
Like, lucky
That's
too.
what I was almost thinking. Maybe we could potentially make dessert pizzas, but we'd have all this like mushroom and stuff. I'm like, I'm not putting mushroom on.
It's too much of a divide. You can't go fruit in the savory.
Nothing's going to cook right.
Nah.
Like there's so much sugar in the fruit that's going to absolutely that's going to be black.
It's already been cooked through.
Yeah,
once.
yeah. It's already been cooked. You recook it. No,
it doesn't work. I do say though, the thing that I find very satisfying with the mini muffin-sized pizzas is that when you get the ham that's like pre-cut that you get in the packets, and it's a circle.
Yeah, I love doing. That's how I do
perfectly.
it. The circle over the top.
I can even, although I do recommend something sticky underneath. I'm very much about layers when I make foods, just because things have to stick at the right point and they need to slip at the right point. It's like ordering burgers. There's a very key order that you need to put things in to be correct for me. Like a McChicken is in the wrong order to me.
What's the order of a chicken?
Well, even chicken and cheese. It's just bun, patty, cheese, mayo, bun is the chicken and cheese.
Right. Yep.
That's leaving a dry on a dry.
A dry on a dry.
Yeah, dry bun to dry chicken patty. And then it's cheese mayo above.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Like,
I get what
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
Yeah,
you got to go mayo in between there because you got to have that adhesiveness. Because at the moment, when I order a chicken and cheese, I either open it up and flip the patty, so then the cheese and mayo are on both sides, or I just straight up fucking whiff the bottom bun.
Yeah. No,
And
I
just
get
eat
you
it
on that.
that way.
I get you on that. That's you at least have the cheese on the bottom because that you can put the chicken down. It'll melt a little bit.
That cleans it there. There's your adhesive.
Yeah.
Then you go I like then going lettuce will go on top of that, and then you can go a bit of a sauce because that'll pin the lettuce down. But if you go lettuce, then the bun directly, it'll slip, and that's when you get that burger bite that fucking slides off the top of the bun. So it's like that's the science I'm looking into in burgers. Don't keep making them taller and then fucking put a skewer through them.
that age is gone. The age of
crafted. Oh, the big fucking
the golden age of burgers is done.
Oh, you reckon?
As their popularity. Like you think about all the different American chains that have tried to start here.
Yeah,
and then
a couple of them they should do a pop-up shop instead of doing a full one. And that's the part that they fuck up. It's like if this was here for 3 weeks, you would crush this fucking Five Guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Ridiculously.
Well, that's the thing is the Five Guys comes out and then it's like they did that in Sydney and now everyone's just like, I'm not spending this kind of money
On a burger that's not as good.
Yeah.
It's like the number of times you go to a burger joint, you pay fucking some ridiculous amount. And it's like, I'm probably going to need to go to the fish and chip shop and get a fucking steak sandwich on the way home. Anyway.
Yeah, this is not filling.
This is not filling, even though it's fucking 10 miles tall.
Yeah.
They're using like rocket and shit to fucking press it up there.
Yeah, and I'm sick of big, thick patties that are medium rare in the middle. I don't
Watching
want
fucking like
that.
Gordon Ramsay cutting one in half and going, look how fucking good that is. It's like, no, man, that's minced meat.
Yeah,
that should all be evenly cooked.
Yeah, that should all be like. What do you want about? Like he's done some gross looking burgers.
Oh yeah,
he did that fancy one where it's like
the truffles.
Yeah, and it's like 1,000-year-old fucking balsamic vinegar. I've never wanted lots of vinegar on my.
Stop aping the peasantry, you cunt.
Yeah,
like burgers are ours. They're fucking. Yeah. It's scraps. It's like saying a fancy sausage. It's like, nah, man. It's meant to be.
Yeah, I must admit I got over fancy sausage because you can't. They never cook right.
They always bend way too hard.
Yeah, and they just...
You cannot get that fucking curve side down. I got it to the point where you've got to go like steak and you've got to fucking slice the outer casing just to get it to sit right. And any sausage too thick is insanity to me.
Yeah, I don't like... I'm the same. I don't like a sausage that's too... and I can't tell if they're cooked or not.
Correct.
Like I can't, and you're just like, the texture's weird.
Yeah, and then you cut into like the middle bits that like bit too juicy, and you're like, is it also pink? I can't tell.
Yeah, like a good classic
Epping
Epping thin will let you know.
Yeah,
and even if it is a little undercooked, well, that's just part of the fun, isn't it? You know,
well, that's the thing. You can literally cook them on one side, and the other side's going to at least not kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine.
Like I don't think I'll. That's why I don't mind. That's why I love a home cooked sausage roll because they can sometimes that little bit of like flavor and texture of a undercooked sausage without it being undercooked.
I do love when you get a homemade sausage roll from somebody. Like, you make your own, you know what's in there, you know what's going on. You're trying somebody's new one, and you just hit something that's like a different flavor, but it's not necessarily in a way where you think it is meant to be there. You know what I mean? Like, you just cop a hit of spice or something. You're like, was this dropped in there? Because the rest of this seemed fine. You know what I mean? But you don't want to call it out as like,
Yeah.
that was bad.
Well, I like to use dill in mine.
Okay.
I've always used dill in my sausage. I brought them around here for your birthday.
I've had them we had them for Katie's birthday.
Oh yeah, we had them like a week ago.
Yeah.
And I'll always make sure there's some nice fresh dill chopped in there. Don't know why I added it one day, but I did. I was like, that makes a good sausage roll.
Dill's one of those ones where I can't tell you what it smells like right now.
Really?
There's a bunch of, like,
you know it.
It'd be one like that, but right now, like, cumin, fucking that,
Yeah.
and shit, it's like immediately fucking even, you know, your oreganos, your thymes, your rosemary.
I'm like that
I
with
can pick that, but it's like I cannot put dill to mind.
I don't really know apart from the spiced one, the smoked one, what paprika tastes like, but I use it on everything.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's just like I have no idea what the flavor of this is.
It adds a bit, like, I was doing that for a
It
while.
literally adds color. It's like
until
when you want it to be when you want
hates-
chili and you don't want it to be spicy.
that's literally it.
Yeah.
Because Tiff doesn't do spice at all.
Yeah.
Because my old one for that was the cayenne pepper.
Yeah.
Just like a couple of swigs that through.
Totally.
Gives a little bit of heat. Gives, I think, a flavor of some kind. But I'm just like, yeah, I just want it to feel in my mouth a little more. So
Yeah.
a little bit of cayenne. But then, yeah, had to tone that down to paprika. And I will admit, I started using the two of them more when I realized they were the main components of an Old El Paso kit anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'll just have those on hand.
We got to pay Old El Paso. They did teach us how to cook back in the day when you didn't know how.
6 steps, you're good to go.
What's the number one thing when you're doing a chili? You got to make sure you got cumin in there. Cumin's actually more important than probably even chili. That gives it that earthy texture and flavour.
Oh, yeah. When you smell chili, you're smelling cumin.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
chili.
Yeah.
It was exactly the same with, like, growing up and, again, cracking the Old El Paso kit. Just opening up fucking cumin for the first time. You're like, it's just this.
Yeah.
All the smell is just this. And
Do you know
then
what I like to do? I've always used to do with Old El Paso.
Yeah.
Is you use half and half, and you use half to like season it,
Yeah.
and then use the other half, and then mix it with water to make it kind of like stocky, brothy kind of thing.
Isn't that meant to be the instructions?
Yeah, I know, but you got to use the half and half.
I thought that's what it's used to say on the instructions. You
Really?
use half the packet, and then you mix that through. You put the other half, and then you add water and mix them together.
I never read the
Then it was like a
instructions.
saucier. See, my thing is I go the next stage of that where it's flavors like the dry packet goes in, and then I use half the taco sauce.
Oh yeah.
So that'll go in there for me, and that is what adds the extra sauciness rather than the
Yes, the one
water and
thing
second flavor.
like that I've never been able to make properly is salsa. I've never made a salsa that's ever tasted like how I like salsa to taste.
Yeah.
I've made some
Which is
variations
again
of it.
Doritos for me.
Yeah,
Just
that kind
straight
of.
up, that's
Yeah, I
what
want
I'm
that Old El Paso Dorito style.
Yeah, there's a level of like wateriness and
Yeah.
then chunks things in it where you're like, there's a bunch of things like that where people go, oh, here's a homemade tomato sauce. I'm like, it's too, I guess, chunky, but also I need it to be granular. Like there needs to be.
Yeah.
It's like I've gotten used to this being what I call tomato sauce. So I need this when I want tomato sauce. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't mind a good chutney. I like a homemade tomato
Chutney's
sauce.
different though, because that's not me asking for tomato sauce.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You know, if
All
someone
right.
says, "Oh yeah, we got some tomato sauce here," and I've asked for it, and they're like, "Excellent," and something comes down in a jar, I'm like, "It's not what I asked for. It'll still probably be good. I'll still have it happily. Not what I was asking for." You know?
No,
that's not
absolutely.
sauce.
I agree.
And yeah, I think it falls into that category a little bit.
Yeah, because I love doing. Because I don't like nachos, right?
Interesting.
I've never liked them. Like I
Interesting.
actually think they're a bad food, and
I think most.
because I don't like corn chips.
Mm,
Like I'd never eat Doritos in my life.
that's probably going to be a fallback. Pretty. That's going to get you offside pretty early.
Yeah, like that's when it's
If
the main.
component is something you're not that into,
Yeah,
it's not really going to sway you on some salsa.
yeah. But I love using it on potato wedges,
Using what?
like salsa, and making
Oh, right, right,
nachos with wedges.
Yep, sitting in that like sweet chili sauce spot.
Oh yeah, like instead of sweet chili sauce.
Yeah. That's that's this.
Is that still thing you can get? Because that seems
Sweet
like
chili.
that's had its heyday.
I think it's still like very base. Like I think pubs will do a lot of if they're just doing wedges.
Yeah, wedges.
It'll be sour cream and sweet chili sauce.
Because that was pretty bloody popular for a long time.
Yeah, the little punnet, and that's again one that's very specific. It's like if I want sweet and sour sauce, it's not like Chinese restaurant sweet and sour sauce. It's not any of that. I want this weird, kind of clear color with orange flecks.
Yeah.
It's like I would say it's orange, but you look and you're like, that's definitely too clear to be called a color, particularly. But it's like I want exactly every canteen when I grew up, like school canteens, they all had that exact fucking sweet chili sauce. It was the little glass bottle.
Yeah.
I can't remember the brand, but it was the 3 bottles, red, brown, yellow, and then the little sweet chili one that was always just manky as fuck around the top of the bottle.
If you had to, I was talking about this recently. If you had to pick one sauce one coloured sauce,
Yep,
for all sauces, what would it be? So you can pick all the brown sauces.
Awesome would be brown.
Yep. So every sauce, right? You can only have one coloured sauce for the rest of your life, but you can have.
I thought you said they all become the same color. It's like
all
so
like
you don't know if it's
everything
tomato
in that.
sauce. You know if it's mustard. It's just like you pick a red one. No. Okay, so you get all sauces of one color.
Yep.
Okay. You have a short list, or otherwise I'm going to have to go through all the colors.
All right. Well,
It's like blue, you got the cheese. Like
yeah, and even that doesn't really count. Like you're not really, you're not counting blue. I classify blue cheese as a white sauce.
Yeah, it would be.
So that's in the white. So your whites, you've got your bechamels.
Yep.
Cream sauces.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that's also a bechamel, but like different kinds of all your cream sauces.
You got your mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, aioli.
Yep. Sour cream.
Sour cream.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, I'll pay sour cream as a sauce. Cheese sauce. Oh, cheese is probably more yellow.
What would you feel about like? I'll make it like a Greek, basically just chucking minced garlic into Greek yogurt. Make it
Tzatziki, or whatever it is.
Tzatzik's got like
But I'm
cucumbers
classifying.
and stuff in there.
I'm
but
classifying that as a white sauce.
Yeah, it's any combo with the Greek yogurt type thing that you can go. All right, and then red, obviously.
Red, you got your tomatoes, but you've also the more important thing is you got a lot of pasta sauces.
True, but they're all tomato based. I find like they're very similar with your red sauces.
Yeah, but you've also got your chili sauces, your sweet chili sauces.
Ooh, chili.
Your Frank's Red.
Yeah. See, what are we talking like seasoning wise though? So like, because you said red there, salsa. It's like I could do without the salsa, but at what point of something am I mixing it into a food that it's not a sauce anymore? Like, are tacos a sauce? They change color with once I add a bunch of ingredients.
Tacos are not a sauce. A chili is not. I would argue you could have a chili sauce, but I'd say that is a red sauce.
Okay. So, all right. So there's certain level.
It's sort of your basis of it.
Yeah. So like, okay, I'm just gonna roll with that as like, rather than me getting into too specifics.
Then you got your brown sauces. So you got your barbecues.
Yeah.
And a lot of gravies.
Ooh, every
Like
variety
that's
of
your
gravy.
problem.
I'm
That's
a big pepper steak sauce man.
It's my favorite. Is a combination, a very oma chips, oma shindy, some combination of peppercorn or mushroom, nice and brown. I mean, I can't like. It's really hard to turn down gravy.
It is, especially because that can cover off a lot of your creamy sensation as well.
Yeah, it does cover that.
You'll still miss out on your pastas. Like,
yeah, you're not having
have
pasta and gravy. Sounds weird. You're probably not getting any good brown sauce on a pasta.
Unless it's just another one that's a bit more brownish. Like, if you got a bit more brown sugar in like a fucking Alfredo sauce or something, you're like, yeah, it's browner. It's still a white sauce.
And then you got your yellows, which are mainly mustards and probably some cheese sauces.
Cheese sauce is a big one, though, but you can still have cheese.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You're not cutting too much out there. I feel like, though... Ooh, would you call, like, Dijon mustard a sauce? Or is that a spread?
Dijon mustard is definitely a sauce.
Okay.
See, red as well, it's going like, red.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Honestly,
you might not be able to have your mayonnaise anymore, but you can have your burger special sauce.
So you can still get base ingredient until it changes color.
Yeah.
Or does it have to be like 50-50, like Russian dressing style?
No, it's just got to be whatever you classify it as.
Ooh. See, that's where white starts to lose some points.
Yeah, white's
'Cause
not a
it's
strong
like,
contender.
White's given it up to other. I don't know. White's still up there for me, man. Because even if you go
I can cover my mayos. I can cover my mayos with
mayo combos,
mayo combos.
yeah. So that's a different one because I thought it was like, okay, if you pick red, yellow doesn't exist, and brown doesn't. Like they're gone. You can't use them as base components for anything.
Oh, nah, because
No,
it
no,
can. You can have a good yellow. Like a lot of mayonnaise can be yellow.
yeah, especially if it's like homemade.
Yeah, homemade is usually yellow.
Touch of yolk
There's usually
gets
an
in
extra
there.
bit of lemon in there. There's usually
That's it.
the eggs don't quite emulsify properly.
Oh, there's something we forgot for yellow though. Is you do get a lot of like dessert type ends of things, like a lemon sauce and like.
Yeah, I can go with that lemon sauce.
As can I. I'm just making sure that they're getting.
I mean, all your
represented.
good all your good dessert sauces are brown anyway. Chocolate, syrup, fudge, caramel,
Chocolate. That's all,
honeycomb.
cunt. That's all you put on
Yeah.
ice cream.
That said, I don't mind a little bit of strawberry syrup.
That's where I was going. Yeah, red's got a lot of fruits.
Brown's got your butterscotch though as well. I love a good butterscotch.
Where you putting caramel?
Oh, caramel's brown.
My
Of course.
default is brown, but part of me is like, well,
How do
is
you
it
not
gonna
How do you not classify caramel as brown?
because it can be reddish.
Ah, yeah,
All
red. A reddish
Also, no, sorry,
brown.
yellow. See, caramels. It's
Yeah,
orange.
it can be a bit
That's the problem.
goldy. Yeah, but no, I'd say I'd definitely if you show me a picture of type in caramel right now into Google, just the word caramel.
Just making sure I got two.
You can go caramel sauce if you want to.
Let's go simple caramel. Not Carmen Electra.
Not caramel to butt.
Don't worry, it'll autocorrect me. No, it didn't.
Caramel.
Mel, like the koala.
Oh, that shit is brown. That is brown. How is that anything else but brown?
Look, I think it suffers from that thing of like if you have enough of it, and as if
There's not a single.
that is orange, motherfucker. But
that's not orange.
no,
That's
I'm gonna give it to you because I think it's one of those ones where if you stretch it, it's orange enough. Like when you get like taffy before you start adding color to it, but it's brown. When you've got a jar of it, like even the one there in the bottom right corner that looks sort of orange, it's peanut butter brown.
yes.
All right, so I'll give it to you. It'll go
Would
brown.
you classify
Mm-hmm.
honey as a sauce?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'll put it. It's runny enough that like you can use it as a spread, but it's a sauce soaking into bread.
Yeah.
You can just put it on there; it'll naturally glide over. But then, like any of your like honey chickens, those kinds of things,
Yes.
you're directly using honey as a sauce.
Yeah.
And like ice cream and stuff, you have
Yeah.
honey on top.
No,
I'm
a big,
definitely putting it there.
I agree. I agree.
But even that one again, it's like default in my mind is yellow.
No, I
But
think
when
honey
you
is
look at-
brown. Honey is brown.
But if you were drawing honey,
If
like
I was
as a
dra-
kid, like if you were with the
if
kids,
I
like-
was drawing it, I would give it a yellow lid. I would give it a yellow label, and I would make the honey brown.
Nah, I'd be going Winnie the Pooh style, brown jar, hand dipping off the
Winnie,
yellow hand.
what color? I reckon Winnie the Pooh has. Look up Winnie the Pooh honey.
Alrighty.
I reckon Winnie the Pooh enjoys a brown honey.
Just from like animation style, I think they made the pot too brown.
Ah, you're right. All right.
Because I
that's
knew
just-
the pot was brown, so it's like you can't have the brown honey on the brown pot.
Yeah, nah, fair enough. It is yellow as he is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I swear I remember that, but which also makes me surprised as well, because I thought, yeah, it's going to be yellow because the pot's brown, but it's like he's a yellow bear. How the fuck did they show honey, like
Yeah.
yellow honey driven from a yellow bear? They're pulling out all the animation tricks. Speaking of animation tricks, though, I saw something. I'm not sure if I sent it to you, but like, we've been on Murphy's podcast. We're fucking big Simpsons fans. I've been getting a lot of like old clips coming through me that I've been slinging back out. But one thing came across my timeline that made me so fucking mad. Like, have you seen that in the later episodes, Martin Prince is a 36-year-old FBI agent?
Yeah, it's from the they start off I think the last season. It's the season premiere, so it's a bit of a riff on like the 22 short films about Springfield and the one that's like the spin-off showcase or the 138th
yeah.
episode spectacular. So it's a bit like that. And so Conan O'Brien hosts it, and it's like a behind-the-scenes look at The Simpsons. Well, it's also meant to be Bart's birthday, and Bart's turning 11.
Ooh.
And the whole idea is that...
All of this has happened in 12 months.
Yeah, so he's going to turn 11, and they get an AI program to make The Simpsons. And that's one of the things that they've got is Martin Prince as a...
Fucking Instagram's got me.
Yeah.
I was so mad.
No, that's not a... It's completely reversed. It's fine.
Okay, that's all good. Because, yeah, straight up, I'm looking at that. I'm like, I know it doesn't ruin any of the old jokes, but part of me says it does.
Yeah,
it's just... Like, I feel the way that people feel about the fucking Armin Tamsarian fucking Skinner thing. It's like, that one never bothered me, but if you told me legit in canon fucking Martin Prince is 36, I'm like, no. I've gone from being indifferent now because it's gotten not as good to tear this shit down.
Yeah, I think...
Let my boy die.
It doesn't work. I don't know why you do it with Martin Prince.
No.
Because it's like...
And I've seen his parents and, like, him at his head. Like, yeah.
But
like,
he's also...
say Kearney's in the FBI.
But why would you be like, okay, we're going to send in an undercover cop
Mhm.
to pretend to be a child?
Yep.
Right? But why would you make... Oh, we're also going to make sure one of his characteristics is that he is ridiculously intelligent. Like, he will have an
It's like a
adult...
whole
He'll be like every 10-year-old. Yeah, we want it to look like an actual 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be like every 10-year-old. He's going to love the fucking opera.
Yep.
Like...
Yeah, they made the biggest loser.
Yeah.
Who would have no friends to be giving him
Yeah.
any information. Unless the whole point is for him to start hanging out with, like, the ostracized kids who are likely to shoot up the place.
Oh.
You know what I mean? But my thing is, if anybody in that school was an FBI agent, just say it's Kearney.
Yeah.
The dude's like 37. Why does he keep getting held back?
Well,
Because
all
he's a
fucking
cop.
37, really.
Yeah, but shut up. Went on fucking grade 10, 10 years old. Grade 5. Shut up.
They're grade 4, I think.
Oh, yeah, prep.
What?
Year 5.
Yeah, Bart would be...
Here he'd be grade 4.
Bart's nearly 50. Bart's 40... Bart's 46 this year.
Yeah, you can really hear it in his voice.
Yeah, far out.
Man, that's one where you're like, as a kid, people were like, oh, do you know Bart's voiced by a girl? And now these days, it's like, thank fuck he was. Otherwise, there's no way he still
Oh,
sounds
it would
like
be...
a child.
Oh, yeah, right.
But Dad,
Yeah.
going through his emphysema cough.
Oh, it'd be the absolute worst.
Yeah, or at least like Castellanero was like, yeah, he was meant to sound like a grown man, even sort of older than he was meant to be. So it's like,
That's why I just can't watch the show anymore.
yeah, it's reminds you too much for your own mortality when you're just hearing
It's all
that
just
voice of a child.
gravelly and Marge, and you're like, this is too painful for me.
Mm. I remember seeing that one where Sideshow Bob pops up as like a throwaway gag where he gets hit by a train without saying anything. And I'm just like, why have him in an episode at all, even as a throwaway line? Like that could be anybody. Why does it have to be fucking Bob kicking around?
Yeah, you get excited when you see old Kels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets in there and it's just like he gets hit by a train and that's it. I'm like, is that how they got rid of it? Because Grandma said he was never coming back? Like,
Yeah, you got that a bit. And they got all the so many of the voices are now different.
I knew some of them because people were getting mad that it was still just a white guy doing voices.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, but that's what it was. Part of me's just like, yeah.
Well, it's weird how they replace some, but they won't replace a poo. So a poo's just never come back. So he's just in the background now. They'll animate him in.
But he's never.
Yeah, he doesn't have a voice. Whereas, like, Eddie or Lou, whichever one it is, has a different voice. Carl has a different voice.
You know, it would have been funny if they're like, well, we can't have, a white guy voicing these POC characters anymore. So we're going to AI generate them off the back of his existing voice. Or better yet, they just cut it from previous episodes where it's like, there is no white guy recording Apu's voice.
Oh, imagine that. Just go through. They're all just cancelled. Can't listen to The Simpsons anymore. Well, it had a good run.
Yeah, they redact it. So you go through The Simpsons, anyone where Apu talks, it just hard cuts
Yeah,
him out of it.
just like Homer and Apu is just now Homer.
Or they just like Japanese porn star like black him out. So you see,
Why
it,
did
like,
your mind go that way so quickly?
because I found it funnier to picture the scenes with him in it just like obscured.
That's great.
Like the episode is still entirely centered around him not wanting to get an arranged marriage, but you never see him. I'm just picturing the scene where like he's out in the car with the girls and they're like bouncing up and down and the car's just scraping along the ground, but he's just a black strip in the middle of it.
Have you ever
I'm really good at ruining things. I'm not sure if you've ever learned this about me.
you ever done watch something in English dubbed with like thick accents? So like I remember Reese Nicholson was telling me how he was in this he's in this Netflix show and there's like a Chinese dubbing or whatever.
As in,
And it looks like he's doing the most horrible Chinese impression
right.
with the dubbing.
It was like
and then
Chinese
I was
accent,
thinking about that and I was like, that's so funny. Watch some of it. It's like, that is funny. And then just doing it with various other accents.
flicking?
Yeah, you can just go through and
That's
it's
great.
like, and sometimes it's just really thick accents.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I
what?
love where the like you can clearly tell that the audio was not mixed in like before the final cut.
Yeah.
So you get ones where there's still like a bit of the English in the background, but like the music will just drop as they start to talk.
Yeah.
So it's just like not only is it an accent lining up with the face, it's almost like they drop everything else to make emphasis on it.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, big music, and then just Reese Nicholson doing Chinese comes in.
That's why I'm so glad. I'm so glad Americans speak English.
Do they?
Yeah, because you can imagine watching like how little you'd love some of your favorite films just because you have to read them in subtitles or they'd be overdubbed.
Oh, okay.
And it just wouldn't be as good. Like imagine if like Gladiator was French. And it's like, Je m'appelle Gladiator de Father d'un un son. Like it'd just be like, what is it? This is like, oh, this
puffing a durry.
But they're all,
It's in
you
black
know,
and white now.
like it rules. I mean, and imagine if fucking America had its own language. It would follow no rules.
No, it'd be like fucking because there's two countries that have got that, don't they? Hungary and like it's not actually it might be Finland. They're just these two languages that do not match up. With any other.
Hungary's. Yeah, it's definitely Hungary. So I think you are right. It is Finnish.
Yeah, and it's just.
'Cause I was
like,
looking it up the other day, actually.
Well, it's like we got family back in Hungary, and it's like, oh, maybe I'll try to go over there sometime, do a bit of the language or whatever. And then when they're just like, oh, you can't base this on anything.
Yeah, it has no origins that are close to any of its neighbours or anything.
Yeah, see, at least with like other languages, there's been adaptive things that I have learned. Like,
Yeah.
I learned Japanese, like in terms of the writing and things like that, reasonably easily because it's just a code.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like you have to punch these things in here. You learn some nouns, and it's all monotone. So it's just like these symbols mean this. Like once you start looking at Chinese as well, there's a lot of like kanji characters that line up with the Chinese characters.
Yeah.
All makes sense to me. But as soon as you start getting like French with like the male and female fucking everything,
Yeah, I couldn't get my head around that.
I'm just like, is there a pattern? And there's not. It's like, then how am I meant to do this? I barely do English properly.
That's what I hate. I've always hated. Like they'll go, like the so and so's have a word for that. Like they'll be like, well, the Germans have a word for that. It's called Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, we have a word for it.
Yeah.
It's Schadenfreude. Like
We've nicked it now.
we just nicked it. Like
Yeah.
we don't go like
That is now in English.
like, oh, where do you work? Well, the Germans have a word for it. It's known as the Garden of Children.
Yeah, it's like, this is an entree.
Yeah.
It's not as
I've never
the
had a
French
child
say.
surprise.
What?
Kinder surprise.
Oh. Why is that child not kin?
Because kinder means child. That's what I mean. So like kindergarten means garden of children.
Ah, that makes sense. I literally never put...
So you laughed at my bit without getting it.
Yeah.
Now I don't trust you.
I just thought you were using like a phrase that sounded like...
Ah,
a
well, that's what it
joke.
is, kindergarten. So I'm saying I work in kindergartens and...
Now it's funny again.
Yeah.
I found out that my sister doesn't know basic Australian phrases.
Like what?
Like, she's living over in America now, so that's where I gave her a bit of a pass. But I just asked her, I'm like, I used the phrase up the duff.
Yeah, right, yep.
Nothing.
Really?
Like, no register of all, like, even contextually, didn't pick up on it. Like, she sort of half answered my question, and then was like, what's up the duff mean? And I'm like,
Pretty good.
how long have you been over there? She's like, oh, I never really used the slang. Like, you're still around.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't live in a house with me, Dad, and fucking Dylan going around talking our shit and not pick up any of it.
That's a weird one. They even had that show called The Duff.
Yeah.
Because it's that
and all
ubiquitous.
the jokes that made when Hillary Duff was getting big.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially, like, I can't remember if she actually got pregnant at some stage, but it's like the joke was there.
Yeah.
Like, constantly. How do you not pick up on that?
I always remember reading this.
Also, if that's anything to do with the context we're talking about, what could it possibly be?
I remember reading a Australian to English slang dictionary once. And it was from the 80s, so I think like a lot of them, it's like, well, I think we still use these terms. We don't really use them in that way. And I just love the idea of somebody like trying to get by using this. Like in the holiday in Australia, like one of the things they had was toey. Now, what would you say toey meant?
I know what toey means. It means horny.
Yeah, right. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had it means you're feeling nervous and anxious. So the idea of like somebody like going through customs
like
and then just like, oh, you all right there, mate? So it's like, yeah, I'm just feeling really toey.
Which you should never really say, even at an airport.
No.
Like the other, like, oh man, I'm feeling.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
I'm feeling really nervous and anxious going through security. Man, this guy's either horny or he's terrified. Either way, we're getting him in the back room.
We have the horniest terrorist on earth here.
Man, he's so horny he wants to get in the cockpit.
Fine.
Yeah. I'm tempted to end on that.
You can end on that if you'd like to.
Yes.
All
I am
right.
going to. It's probably about that time, and you've got somewhere out in the country.
Well,
to
that's
get to.
fun, actually, talking about that, because you were saying
Mhm.
at the start about Rule 34 and planes.
Yes.
And that could wrap us up nicely. You should tell your crowd that.
Tell the crowd hear that, or
Were you talking about how there's like Rule 34 porn for planes with
Yeah.
giant tits on them?
yes. The problem is I forgot where I'd left off on the other bit.
Oh, well.
That's all good. Quonny, what would you like to plug? Where can we find you? It's at Nick _Quon.
Yep, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, check that out on Instagram, and then you can basically float from there. There'll be in all my links. You can also find me at Techie Webby. That's where you get your show updates and any of my other little nonsense. That's basically it. Thanks for coming on, man.
Anytime, brother.
We'll see you again soon.
Will
Thanks
do.
for watching. /listen.